My name is Ikko Yokoyama. I'm a lead curator of design architecture at the M Plus in Hong Kong. So my role is to overseeing M Plus both exhibition, collection, including collection care and acquisition, also make it into the exhibition. M Plus Design Architecture Collection is it focuses Asia. So our collection is like the circle. So like we have a Hong Kong, Asia, and beyond. What is really unique about M Plus acquisition is we have only one acquisition committee, which is mixed with visual art and moving image. But we do one because we think it's very important to design architecture history, art history, moving image. It is the same world, same time period, same social context. The visual culture is the kind of our lens. Also the way to really how we limit ourselves, but it's also how we kind of challenge ourselves to broaden the usual, the very Western centric, the canonical history, which is particularly 20th century design, art, and architecture history, it's no doubt. But for us, it's very much how we can augment, how we can expand these canons. But this canon itself, we can also question, do we have to be so distinctly different between, draw the line between design and art or architecture, discipline specific? So we want to a little bit expand the way how, what kind of object, what kind of medium can represent design and architecture. Also, the mission is also really looking the lesser known histories and the makers and the narratives, and particularly the regions like South and Southeast Asia. Talking about the collection archive, we have about this 54,000, which we acquired only the period of 2012, which we made the first acquisition. So it is a kind of constant backlog to digitize everything. But to gain the accessibilities when we digitize, we really put a lot of effort to our collection online. So accessibility is one thing in the gallery, but it's also we put the online resources to try to really put up our collection as much as possible. At the moment, we have managed to put only 30% of collection archive to our online. That means not that's the only digitized, because it's the something go up to the public online. It's another step, because we have much more digitized in our database. Yeah, other than that, when we also get the bone digital, the files. So then we have our time-based media conservator. So they look at the not only like those architecture files or design files, they look at all like video works and the digital works and the video games and the web-based art. So we have a time-based media conservator. There is hasn't been any architecture museums in Asia. And definitely design is really almost nothing, even in Japan. But it's new initiatives happening. But I think it's the exhibiting design architecture is the really way the audience can relate to their everyday life. Hong Kong is not the city like London or Paris, or people more naturally going to the Western cities, going to the museums. So it's still new things. So I think design architecture collection has a potential to become a much the tools. I really believe a museum as a tool for the audience. So that I think we can offer, and then also the importantly, Asia is still like many countries still under development. Mega cities are growing. People have big housing problems, but we cannot repeat the same mistakes, or like you cannot need to build quick, but have to build much more smarter way. So there may be these imaginations, and then the past architecture archives probably inspire for the young architects. So I think in that sense, design architecture exhibitions and the collection access to archive is hugely important, also very particular to this part of the world.
I'm a professor at University of Seoul, and in 2021, I was appointed by the government, the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, and Transport, as a director of inaugural exhibition of the Korea's first and largest museum for urbanism in architecture. So total number of collection is about 3,000 and 11,000 items. And these include photos, maps, rare books, template documents, drawings, models, and video footages. And the temporal scope ranges from the end of 18th century to up to 2000. One of our curatorial strategy is to create experience of shifting scales from full scale building elements to the urban scale. And also we try to reveal both visible and invisible elements of cities and buildings. And the title of inaugural exhibition is Building Life After the Korean War, Urban Architecture from 1950 to 2010. And then there are 10 subsections from introduction to history, home, street, cities, architectural tectonics, and pioneering architects and planners, design medium and tools, and facade mock-ups, and then two courtyard competition projects. And among tens of sections, we will show full-scale facade mock-up for 10 buildings, 5 from Korean building, 5 from outside Korea, on the balcony. When Alejandro Zaida designed this building, and one of the reference was the Pergamon Museum in Berlin, and sort of within the architecture has to be the full scale, the building was refabricated inside the museum. And then we try to maximize his idea into our exhibition. We plan to make a virtual museum. We haven't decided to what extent, but definitely we will open our resources to the online, so that you can from the Zurich, and you can open museum and you can see some of the sections. And yeah, definitely that's because one of our curatorial strategy, because our museum is not in Seoul, it's in Sejong City, so it's so far it's a small administrative city, and then it has a certain geographical disadvantage. The museum embodies the collective memory of place and its people, and history is not the whole truth. That's why the critical reinterpretation of history is required, and this is where the research comes in, and followed by creative and innovative exhibition and representations. Now, architecture museums are opening in Asia, not only in Korea, but also in Taiwan and on Singapore and Hong Kong. So I think these museums create a certain kind of platform for dialogue. and dialogue about the historically, ideologically, politically, and socially very sensitive issues, such as the imperialism and colonialism, post-colonialism, and communism, particularly in Far East Asia, and Cold War, and dictatorship, and globalization. The future of the museum and archives is the combination of the conventional collection of original and integration of three different forms of digitization, I said, into compatible archival system. The first is digitization of the already acquired collection, and second is born digital object and data, and number three is new forms of exhibition and exhibit, like we are trying to right now. So I think it's just a balance or the hybrid system of these three components will be the maybe one way of dealing with in the future, I think.